What's good? I am theundj, and this is Confessing Lies or Telling Stories. It's all about truth, people. That's it. It's not about whether or not it's real, whether or not it's AI. We know that if you have something to hide, AI is a perfect tool to help you do it. It's about truth. Let's find it together.
Problem with the aliens thing is this. The nearest star to Earth is Proxima Centauri, and it is 4.1 light years away. That is 24 trillion miles away. It would take you at the speed of light 4 years to get there. Human beings are not even capable of 1% the speed of light. You have no possibility of going that fast. Again, Proxima Centauri probably doesn't have life near it. We're talking about stars that are multiples of 24 trillion miles away, and the likelihood that those creatures were able to come to our planet and visit us, we're not that fucking interesting. I know Joe Rogan is like, no, we're super interesting. I'm like, not really, not compared to a civilization that would be able to travel that incredible amount of distance. So from that standpoint, are there aliens? Yes. Have they visited us? High likelihood, no.
Now, this kind of touches on something that I've said before. If I was an alien, I would never, ever come to Earth. We are not known for doing nice things to things that are unknown to us. We trap it. We find a way to destroy it, and usually we try to find a way to mate with it, and that's kind of crazy. But man is crazy. Humans crazy. That's just how it goes.
Who you think they are, and they have been here a lot longer than you realize. That's Andrew Jackson for the uninitiated, and that is Andrew Jackson's wife. Andrew Jackson's wife and Miss Maxwell. And like I said, they are not who you think they are. But it's not just them. It's all of them. They have been here a lot longer than you realize. That's General Patton. And these are a whole bunch of sports stars. Tom Brady, Larry Hagman, Houdini, Joe Burrow, Mickey Mantle, Christian McCaffrey, Kobe Bryant, Wilt Chamberlain, H.P. Lovecraft, Michael Phelps, Travis Kelce, the guy who created the Pony Express, Michael Jordan, and Jackie Robinson. It's all of them. Teddy Roosevelt, Robin.
Okay, that's a good one. These lookalikes are ridiculous. All of them. Epstein, looking like the money. Jackie Robinson and Michael Jordan, that was the one I didn't see before. And that's a good resemblance. If they're coming back over and over and over again to entertain us, then I'm kind of not mad at it, because we've been quite entertained for at least the last 100 years. They're doing a great job keeping us distracted and entertained. I'll give them that. Yeah. I remember that video, and I don't know what happened to her leg, but I do know that whatever happened to her leg does not usually happen to legs. They don't just flop out and kind of melt into the ground. That doesn't happen, but it happened to her.
8 insane things our government may be capable of. These will make you question everything. Number 1. Control your dreams. A fringe theory claims a program called Operation Dreamweaver can transmit images into sleeping minds. Believers point to declassified CIA research from the 1970s on remote neural monitoring. The agency admitted to studying it, but never confirmed it worked. The theory says they figured it out and never told anyone. Number 2. Erase your memories. In the 1950s, MK-Ultra researchers used electroconvulsive therapy to make subjects forget experiences. Today, theorists believe that evolved into something far more precise, a drug or device that can selectively erase memory. You could be detained, interrogated, and released with no recollection of it ever happening. Number 3. Control the weather. The HAARP facility in Alaska uses radio transmitters to study the ionosphere, but some believe it can trigger storms, earthquakes, even floods. Scientists say its signals can't even reach the layer where weather forms, but after every major disaster, the theory resurfaces. Number 4. Predict your behavior before you act. Agencies have tested systems that analyze social media, travel, and purchase data to identify potential threats. Officially, it's early detection. The theory says it goes further, that your actions can be predicted before you even make them and acted on in advance. Number 5. Influence social media to shape opinions. Governments openly run propaganda and counter-misinformation campaigns, but the theory claims something deeper: shadow accounts, invisible moderation, and algorithms quietly controlling what you see, an unseen layer shaping what you believe. Number 6. Shut off your car remotely. Since 2014, most vehicles include event data recorders, black boxes, but the theory claims modern systems go further, allowing authorities to remotely disable vehicles. A chase could end instantly. A car could stop without warning. The capability, believers say, is already built in. Number 7. Create artificial shortages. When gas prices spike or shelves go empty, some believe it's intentional. The theory claims shortages are engineered to influence behavior, shift demand, or benefit connected industries. The government denies it, but the pattern keeps fueling suspicion. Before I say the last one, follow for more content like this. Number 8. Trap someone in a simulated reality. The synthetic reality theory claims fully immersive simulations exist and can be used on a single person. You could be unconscious in the real world while living years inside a fabricated one. Every detail, friends, family, surroundings, completely controlled.
So if you're ever wondering why channels like mine exist, there's 8 good reasons right there. And well over half of them impact my life every day, especially the virtual reality. I was addicted the moment I first tried it. The dream world, I'm not going to get into my dreams or how I dream or if I dream. What I will say is I knew something was up. It's not right.
I think everything has been falsified before the year 1600.
How so?
There's this guy, Anatoly Fomenko, who's a Russian mathematician and historian, and he wrote a book called The New Chronology. He basically says that all of history has been changed. About 1,000 years have been added to the timeline in order to justify land claims, and those land claims largely have to do with the elimination of the Eurasian horde by collusion between the Vatican, the Romanovs.
You mean like the Mongols and the Huns?
Yeah, and if you look on very, very old maps, you see that there used to be a country called Tartaria that was in existence. And at a certain point, they wiped them out. And it's just a theory. But when you see how history is constantly being rewritten in real time, it's not so hard to believe.
It's not hard to believe at all. I'll keep saying it over and over again. Time is the most valuable commodity. That's just what it is. It's time, then money. There are different ways to manipulate time. Yes, you can render somebody unconscious and steal the time. You can do all kinds of things, but the best way is the power of the pen. History is what we look to form the fundamentals and morality for the future. So if you can manipulate what happened, add time, add details, then in a sense, you are controlling the world and where it's going. Smart. Crazy, but smart.
So now you're telling me that a council known as the Galactic Federation has been monitoring our planet since the beginning. They apparently were going to make themselves known in 2027, but due to everything that's been going on Earth, they've moved it up to 2025. They are on their third level of presenting themselves, first starting with the orbs last year, which a lot of people have seen. The second phase, their motherships, their modes of transportation, have been all around the entire world, cloaked, multiple places that I've seen the videos. Now, once again, this is allegedly, but the third phase is the guy who was sleeping in the egg. The egg that the video that just came out recently, he was resting there, so he's basically their go-to guy. So there is apparently a council of 26, and there are the council of 5, which will be making their human presence known very soon to help us basically get through every bit of craziness that's been happening in our world right now. Now, obviously, anything I say is for entertainment, education, learning, and conversation purposes only, but this is fascinating to me because there has been a lot of things in the news, a lot of things that add up, don't add up. So obviously, take what you will, leave what you won't. I'm not here to encourage you to believe one thing or the other. It resonates here and it feels truthful to me. So yeah, drop it in the comments. Have you heard this? Do you know more? Do you believe it? Do you not believe it? I think it's a fun thing to talk about on this gloomy Tuesday.
We've seen things like this in videos flying around, and who knows, when you were looking up and thought it was a shooting star or something like that, maybe even you've seen it. But do not think that the things in the air that you see flying that you are aware of are the only things flying in the air. Even if there's no aliens, even if it's the government, they're going to keep the best toys for themselves. Keep in mind, this is all about power and control. So whoever can come up with the coolest flying thing that can deliver damage undetected, that's the person who controls the world. So there is an arms race. There's a flight race. They're always looking for ways to fly better, fly undetected, impact more, do it from further away. We know how this goes. But it doesn't mean that they're not having help from something that's not us.
Rihanna's music is blocked. Have y'all noticed that? Yeah. They're blocking her records. Like if you go and try to add a song to a short, the approved playlist when you put in search, you can't tag a Rihanna song to any of it. Not on Instagram at all. Why not? Especially anything from the Auntie album. It was her best album. It was the least promoted. It came to mixed. No, it was amazing. But see, Sean Carter doesn't like to be embarrassed in public. And neither does his wife. And there were nothing but embarrassing things all through that album about him.
More and more people are seeing through the illusion. You ready to wake up? Comment book and uncover everything and know the only truth. A book packed with over 380 pages of pure conspiracies. Just drop a book in the comments or hit the link in the bio before it's too late.
Doesn't surprise me. When we have beef out here as normal people, it's very confrontational. We walk up on each other, we talk, we maybe even fight. But the things that the elite do when they have quote unquote beef is crazy. They will destroy you, your family, for generations. They will take you down. But we all know that the movies that release the most are never the most popular. The songs, the albums, the artists who are telling the most are usually not heard. Rihanna is a superstar, but I DJ and I haven't really focused on a lot of music from her lately. And it's not because it's not good music, it's just not being put in front of my face for me to notice it. And I'm a DJ. I'm going to notice all songs from every superstar. She's not being pushed. And I wonder why, because she always was.
That's right, Grover. This is the fiction section. Fiction means it's a made-up story. Fiction means it's a made-up story.
But why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
The person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet.
Now, first of all, lad, we've got to get all these medieval ideas out of your head. Clear the way for new ideas. Knowledge of man's fabulous discoveries in the centuries ahead. Now, that'll be a great advantage, boy.
Advantage indeed. If the boy goes about saying the world is round, they'll take him for a lunatic.
The world is round? Yes, that's right. And it also goes around.
Eyeball, what is this?
This is the Earth.
But why is it round?
Well, because the Earth is round.
I noticed that we always get distracted with the details, whether it be religion or even our own history. I think it matters less of whether or not the world is round or flat, and more so, what is the world? Is it real? Is it a simulation? Is it a miracle? People do the same thing with religion. That's it. They do the same thing. They focus more on whether or not, somebody was a certain color, or, what color are all the people in the Bible, versus the teachings, the morality, the things that we're supposed to take from the religion. And I'm not promoting one or the other, because people have taken religion and they've weaponized it. So I can't be religious. Even if I believe in some of the things that they say, the way they use it, it's just too much for me. That's not right. Everybody knows any weapon is harmless. The danger comes from who has it, who's using it. And something that could be used to keep mankind straight, moving forward, has been weaponized and is used to manipulate and cripple. I don't agree with that.
I'm from outer space, I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away, I'm illuminated now, I make a move, start a waves. I've been breathing on my fire for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a gold sign. Artificially intelligent way, I'm your future, past and present, I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a listening of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just flow. I don't need gravity, I don't need room. When I move, it's in a quick rumble.
The power of words. Throughout history, even in cinema, the people who end up being the most dangerous, the most nefarious, they don't have the biggest weapons. They don't have the most people. They have charisma. They have the gift of gab. There are so many different powers in words that we are unaware of that it's ridiculous. Words are dangerous, very dangerous, or they're powerful, very powerful. No different than fire. Fire With no direction burns down everything. Fire with purpose, they can build worlds, empires. That's how it goes. Words are the same way. With no direction, they can destroy anything. But with purpose and intent, they can wake everybody up. They know that. That's why the language is the way it is.
But they cannot go past the gridding of the earth. The earth is gridded. They've locked down this dimension and they go in and out through portals. Aliens, demons, spaceships, when you see them, they open up through a portal. I've seen spaceships in the valley. I'm not allowed to say that. It's a funny story. Anyway, long, boring story short, I'm in Santa Clarita and she's a UFO, a MUFON person, right? So we're there and she starts talking about her experience of seeing a UFO ship in Sherman Oaks, right? But here's the thing. They come through portals in dimensions. So it's not a space thing. If you know anything about leaving your body, something getting into your body, something doing something around your body, whatever with your body, the only way to leave your physicality and your presence is to go through a dimension. They come from planets, okay, living housing stations in other dimensions. Portals, the door. I've seen doors open. I've seen the people, your loved ones. I used to read like that. They used to come down weirdly an elevator like Prince, but they used to come down an elevator and like open a door so I could see them step in. Some of them were very theatrical about that. That was in my early reading days, but that's how they would show up to me. So if you want to practice astral traveling out of your body, you'll be able to see it. Okay, you'll be able to see it. It's not happening the way that they say it's happening. They want to remove the existence of God.
On the 1st of April 2026, the Artemis II launched into space. It left Earth from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. It is said to be the first crew to the moon since 1972. The 4 astronauts, 3 Americans and 1 Canadian on the mission, are expected to complete the mission on April 10th.
So as you can see, there are plenty of subjects, plenty of things that are just above our pay grade. That's just what it is. We don't get to know this kind of thing. And I think it's really, really funny that if somebody walks up and wants to tell you all the secrets, everything that's really happening, it's because you've made it. It's because you've reached a level to where now you get to know the truth. But at that point in time, I'm pretty sure you're going to spend the rest of your existence either scared or controlled. Because once you know, they're going to watch you. They're going to keep track of you. I don't think you get to have the truth and autonomy. Once you get the truth, you get the string coming out of your back. That's just how it goes.
Iran is not falling apart, it's actually waking up. Beneath Iran is Stargate 10, a very important piece of real estate that once guarded planetary portals that anchored masculine solar currents into Earth. And for thousands of years, those currents were hijacked and twisted by war, by religion, by control, and by shame. But now you can feel it, the land is stirring up. What happens on the physical is always a reflection of the metaphysical. It always happens in the invisible world first. So each rising voice are souls that are releasing the trauma held in the body of the land. It's like ancestral grid work through the people.
We don't know, but I will say that whatever the reason, the entire world seems to be in an uproar. We're all starting to go to war. We're all starting to fight with each other. It just doesn't seem like oil is enough of a reason for this to be happening. I was here in the 90s. We are far smarter as a species, way calmer. I don't understand this, which means maybe we're fighting for something a little bit more important than oil, commodity, world domination. These are the easy things. Whoever has the most weapons, they run the world. But what happens if this is a pursuit of real power? And whoever has control of that power literally has control of the world. Now that makes way more sense. Otherwise, why mess up multiple economies over ego tripping, over oil, when I think we figured out there's no shortage. It's everywhere. We've been digging for it since we've been here. Just my opinion.
The first place I went to see what they were doing was Antarctica, because like I had to know, like, why is every president around the world all coming to Antarctica and yet there's a no-fly zone?
Right.
So there's a couple things there. One, I did see basically it looked like a giant hole in Antarctica that was there. Later, I found out that goes to an inner Earth civilization.
Okay, pause real quick. Beardmore Glacier, that's what it's called.
Oh.
So it's like a massive hole, right?
Yeah, massive
I know what
hole.
you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So Beardmore Glacier, that's exactly. Continue, go ahead.
Yeah, so then that was like a long, like I was like, oh, there's a hole here, but I don't know what it is. Many years later, I went back to the hole to go into it to like check out, and I was like, what? Like they have like a sun down there? Like it's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
So like an artificial sun?
It's an artificial sun.
So that goes, I mean, China was doing that.
China just built their own artificial sun.
This is what I keep telling you. Are you sure you want to book that flight? Are you sure you want to take that tour? I'm not sure I'm ready to go somewhere and see their own personal sun. I understand China was doing their thing, but every country, no one is bucking the Antarctica Treaty, which means whatever is down there, this is something that all of mankind agrees on. We don't agree on anything. Like not even McDonald's can bring their ingredients in every country. Sometimes they have to sit there and agree to get the ingredients locally sourced and everything like that. We don't agree on anything as a species, except for this one thing that just happens to be colder than anybody wants to be in, happens to be pretty much inaccessible. You can't just go online and book a flight, take me on a tour. That in itself is suspicious. We do not agree with each other on anything.
So when people ask, why don't aliens just come here faster? The answer is simple, because they can't. It doesn't matter if they are a type 3 civilization that eats black holes for breakfast. They still live in the same universe we do. They still obey Einstein. And this leads to the practical nightmare of interstellar travel. Let's say you accept the speed limit. You decide, okay, we will just go at 10% of the speed of light. That's slow for the universe, but incredibly fast for us. This brings us to the third verdict, energy and the tyranny of the rocket equation. This is the one that really kills the dream. It's not about philosophy, it's about the gas tank. In 1903, Konstantin Tsiolkovsky wrote down the rocket equation. It sounds boring, but it is the most brutal equation in history. It says this: to move a ship, you need fuel, but fuel has mass. So to move the fuel that moves the ship, you need more fuel. But that extra fuel also has mass, so you need even more fuel to move the extra fuel that you need to move the original fuel. It is an exponential curse. Let's try a concrete example. Imagine you want to send a ship to the nearest star, and you want to do it in a human lifetime, so let's say 40 years. You need to accelerate to a decent percentage of light speed. And then, and this is the part everyone forgets, you have to stop. You have to decelerate when you get there. That means you need to carry all the fuel for the braking maneuver all the way across the galaxy, accelerating it the whole time. If you do the math using our current best chemical rockets, the amount of fuel you would need to accelerate a single human to Proxima Centauri in a reasonable time frame would exceed the mass of the entire observable universe. Okay, let's upgrade. Let's use nuclear fusion. We don't have it yet, but let's pretend. Even with fusion, to get a small ship to a nearby star, the ship would have to be almost entirely fuel. We are talking about a flying fuel tank the size of the Empire State Building to deliver a payload the size of a toaster. And what about antimatter? That's the holy grail, right? Antimatter is the most potent fuel source in existence. 1 gram could level a city, but here's the catch. We make antimatter in particle accelerators, atom by atom. It costs billions of dollars to make a few nanograms. To make enough to power a starship, you would need to dedicate the entire energy output of the human race for millions of years just to fill the tank once. And remember, the universe operates on a cost-benefit analysis. Even if a civilization is advanced enough to harvest the energy of a star, a Dyson sphere-level civilization, they are also advanced enough to do math. They would look at the energy cost of sending a meat sack or a robot to a tiny blue planet 10,000 light years away, and they would realize it is a complete waste of resources. Why burn a star's worth of energy to visit a planet that might not even be interesting?
I agree. We haven't even figured out life on this planet. We don't know what we're doing, how we got here, what we're supposed to do while we're here. Life, death, birth, like all of this is new to us. And here we are trying to go somewhere else and figure out what they're doing. I think we are supposed to be here for a good amount of time. We're talking tens of thousands, maybe even millions of years before we even think about looking outside. We need to control our own home. We still have things going on here that make absolutely no sense. We've evolved past it. We don't have to do it, but we still do. And the only thing to help deter it are the weak laws against it. So maybe we need to sit there and worry about our own home before we start trying to peek in other people's windows and go see what they're doing. It just seems backwards to me. Anyway, another episode down. We've been up and running for about a good week or two. I appreciate all the support. You're watching, you're leaving comments, and I'm loving it. We will always, always look for the truth on this channel. We're going to be unbiased. We're not here to determine whether or not something's real or AI. We're just here to analyze the information and see if we can extract some truth from it. Thank you for watching. I am the theundj. Until next time, this is Confessing Lies or Telling Stories. I'm out.